Welcome back. Next is access reviews. So, what is access reviews? As the name indicates, reviewing the user access, also called as certification. Certification is what you hear in SailPoint Identity IQ. Certification is nothing but collection of access reviews. Access reviews is a generic word used in IGA identity practice. Okay, so that's why SailPoint, I don't know, they felt like, okay, why to use certification and calling it as collection of access reviews? Instead, let us call it as access reviews, just like that. Okay, so you need to understand what is access reviews before you explain application team. Okay, so let's take a scenario where you onboarded an application into SailPoint or any other IZA product. Okay, so now how the user will get the access? Three ways, I would say. One, uh, user might get access at the application side itself, which shouldn't be, but in case if application is not a brand new application, you onboarded old application, the application will have the data right already, so user is having access already. We do not know what is the governance process they have gone through. I mean, approvals, how the user got the access, who got granted the access, etc., etc. Okay. Second is, um, once it is onboarded to SailPoint, user can get access in two ways: automatic, manual. Automatic is through role based. Okay. Second, uh, manual, which is request based. So if you look at the access, if user got automatically through roles, if the user is not satisfying the criteria, let's say user moved to different department, different location, different designation, right? Then our cost center, there are different attributes: department, cost center, location, job title. These are the highly used attributes to grant the access for the user. Okay, so if user move to different department or different location, since the criteria is not satisfied or meeting, so user will lose the access automatically. That's not a problem. But what about the access user got through access requests? That will not be, automatically removed, correct? Let's say that I'm working in a finance department. I got all the access on finance department. Now I move to transportation department, right? Or logistics department. Then I don't need access of my previous department. That has to be removed automatically. Or sometimes you get access temporarily. Let's say you, for the simple work or bit short term work you are doing in that project, and you need access for 6 months. After that you do not need it anymore. It has to be reviewed. Okay, so as we discussed, there is one component or one wing in cybersecurity, which is GRC, governance, risk and compliance. So this will comes under compliance. So what it says, the compliance, every organization, we need to make sure that identities has access, our employees has access, uh, accurately what they need, precisely what they need, nothing less, nothing more. So how do you guarantee that your employees in the organization has correct set of accesses what they need? Through access reviews. So we need to review the access for every employee in the organization in a frequency. Then we can say that yes, our organization data is compliant, 100% compliant. We verified that all our employees has access what they need to have, nothing less, nothing more. This is very important for auditing. So every organization will have a audit partner like big four companies, KPMG, Deloitte, EY, PwC, I think. Yeah, so these four are there, but highly, I think KPMG has a lot of clients compared to all of them. So KPMG might be your auditor, or Deloitte might be, or EY, or PwC. One of them will be working as a auditor for your client. So they will come and do the audit on a frequency. I think every quarter they do. Annual also will be there. So whenever they do, they will ask you this question: when was the last access review done for this application access? How many? So when you launch the access review, uh, uh, the reviewer, it can be manager or application team or someone, can approve the access. Approve means user will get the access as it is, nothing change. Or user can revoke the access. If it is revoked, user will lose the access. So how many approved, how many revoked, how many, what were the decisions? Okay, so they will ask you this data. Randomly, they will check for all applications. Also, application teams, not just SailPoint, will have audit. Every application team will have audit. Auditors will be there asking them as well, application teams. Okay, so show me how many users you have, how they got the access, uh, who approved it, when did you review the access. Like that, there will be some set of questionnaire for auditors as for the application team as well. So they cannot fulfill all these things, right? It's not their, they might not have all these things. That's why they onboard to application, they onboard to SailPoint or any other IGA product. So whenever the auditors ask them, they can reach out to SailPoint and ask for the data, or they can say that, hey, we onboarded our application in our IGA product. You can go and talk to them, get the data, whatever you need. So application team will be highly benefited. This is another benefit. That's what you are going to use to convince the application team. Why do you need to onboard application into IGA product? Actually, you do not need to convince them because that's the organization decision. But sometimes you will be in a situation where you need to convince them. They will not support you. Why? They'll say like, why should we onboard application into your IGA product? Sometimes they might be adamant, or sometimes they will be thinking like, okay, we might lose the work. That's why they will not be supportive, or maybe there are different reasons. I never asked them why you are not supporting us, why you are not cooperating us to onboard your application into our ICA product. So it can be these reasons, because they might lose their work as well. Once I onboarded Salesforce, and they reduce their team count, because some admin team was there who was taking care of employees access. They used to create tickets that, hey, I need this access, and they used to look for approvals or talk to them through mails, or through a chat message, and then used to give the access. So that kind of manual activities they do not need to do anymore, because we onboarded into SailPoint. So that's why they ramped down their team. So yeah, that's why they might not support you. Occasionally, you might see them as well. I mean, these kind of situations. That's where you need to explain them what are the benefits of onboarding application into your IZA product. Access reviews is one of them. Okay, so you need to explain application team what is an access review. Just say that yes, we need to review the access what your users is having in a frequency. And what is the benefit of it? Compliance. To make sure that every employee in the organization has right set of access, nothing less, nothing more. Okay, and also licenses. Nowadays, every application is license based. Everything is license. It's getting to that kind of situation. Every application you are going to use, and I mean, if it is in-house application, nothing. In case if it is a product you purchase outside, okay, for example, Microsoft 365, it's a license. You need to pay per user, correct? Per license you need to pay to Microsoft. So Salesforce license, there will be some applications, I mean some products, which you are paying hefty prices for licenses. Often organizations will be, having problem of budget issues, so they need to control, otherwise they will spend a lot of money, right? So imagine that an employee got an access, they have licenses. What is the guarantee that they need that license still? You need to review that, maybe you can save the license count as well. Okay, compliance is one reason. Second is saving the licenses, making use of the licenses. I have worked, I mean, couple of years back, some applications which was already having a problem of license shortage. There are a lot of employees waiting in the queue, it seems, for the licenses. So then, when we connected to that application and reviewed the data, we have seen that because it was not onboarded into SailPoint Identity IQ at the time I was working, I have seen that a lot of leavers, employees who left the organization, are still having licenses there. They didn't know. If levers itself is having licenses, imagine employees who doesn't need access or licenses anymore, they might be still there. So we can save that. These are the benefits and explain it to them. But in layman words, don't use technical words, just use simple business words so that they can understand the actual benefit out of this. Next is periodic access review. So how often you can go for reviewing? By default in your organization, you can talk to your GRC team. They will tell you what is the frequency of access reviews you need to follow. They will have some category of applications, and government also impose regulations for every industry in the country, like banking, telecom, healthcare, finance. So every company has to follow some regulations. As per those regulations, you have to review the applications access, let's say every 6 months once, or annually once, or quarterly once, like that. I've never heard, but there might be chances that you might need to review every month as well. You need to check with your GRC team, and you need to look into your organization standards, how often they need. Okay, so you can go periodic access reviews like every quarter or every half year. Ad hoc access reviews means whenever they want to. Whenever application team needs, then they can go for access reviews as well. So talk to them and see. uh, you need to know about this if you need to follow any regulations in your organization, whether to follow some periodic access reviews or ad hoc access reviews as well. In case if there are no regulations from your GRC team, then what you can do is you can go for every 6 months or annually once as well. That's a highly used frequency. Next, approval. So who should approve it? Who should review the access, right? Application team or manager, or who should review that? You need to talk to the application team. Sometimes manager is the right person. Sometimes application team is the right person to review the access. What if no action taken? I mean, generally, you will go for duration. How much time? I mean, what is the start date? What is the end date of your access reviews? The duration will be there. 30 days you can launch the access reviews, or 60 days, or 90 days. Maximum is 90 days. We go for an average 60 days is good. Okay, so we will give 60 days for the reviewers to take time, review each and every user's access, talk to them, analyze or check why do they need access, and then take the decision. What if there is no action taken? Do you want to approve them or do you want to reject them? So you need to talk to them. What is the recommendation from SailPoint? Just keep the access, do not revoke it, because it might lead to uh, if they lose the access, there will be no work, right? That might lead to big issues and escalations. Okay, so these are the considerations you need to have while working on access reviews. um, as we are focusing on identity IQ and identity now, identity IQ is king of IGA. There is no other product. Even SailPoint, I don't know, is not yet as big as Identity IQ in certifications or access reviews to be precise. So access reviews is a beast in Identity IQ, whereas in Identity now it's not that big. They're just making it simplified. There will be pros and cons as well. Some features we are missing in Identity now compared to Identity IQ. But yeah, Identity IQ, it was like old way. Maybe I don't know, they are bringing in a new direction. Let's see. So if you take Identity IQ, the discussion will be like how many days you can go for reminders. Or let me show you in SailPoint Identity IQ to understand. To set up certifications, so Identity IQ, you have these many types of certifications. I love targeted certification. This is launched in 7.3. Currently 8.4 is running on in SailPoint Identity IQ. Targeted is like mix of certifications. Manager, as the name indicates, manager certification. Application owner certification. Like you can certify if you take manager. Targeted, you can certify anything, no problem. This is mix of all the certifications. Manager, you can certify one or two managers or a set of managers. What they will review, their report is access. Application owner, as the name indicates, set of applications reviewed you know. Entitlement owner, you can choose the entitlements and who will review those entitlement owner. Advanced, you can go for uh, populations and group factories to certify. I didn't use that much. Role membership, highly used certification. I have used it. You can certify all the roles. Role composition, as the name indicates, you can certify the role definition. Account group, I never used them. No big deal about them. But out of all, I was using role membership a lot initially. Once the targeted certification is launched, I used to recommend everyone to use targeted only. That's the best certification out of all these things. Manager is not a good choice because it's not a good certificate. It's a time consuming and performance issues also will be there in manager certification. Okay, why? See, if you take a manager, let's say a manager has 10 resources. How come manager knows whether the user or reportee need access to each and every application? Not everything manager can be aware of it. What manager does, they'll just go and talk to the reportee. Hey, do you need this access? Reportee will say, yes, I need that. Okay, approved, done. That's it. Manager doesn't have knowledge about it, right? There will be some set of access uh, where manager has to review. Um, Remaining access has to be reviewed by respective application teams only. That's why I don't like manager certification. Targeted is the best. Let's look into targeted for now. So you can see like what do you want to certify. You can filter or population, you can select, or you can write a rule to have the users exclude inactive identities if you want to exclude inactive identities. Why to certify inactive users? Or do you want to certify roles or entitlements or only accounts? Then choose the certifier, primary and backup. So you can go for primary certifier as manager or application team, or own, you can go for a rule, your wish. And then backup certifier in case if you select manager and if a user doesn't have manager. Yeah, there are possibilities. Then if there is no primary certifier available, then you can go for backup certifier. Scheduling the certification, execution frequency. You can go for once, or you can go for every month or every quarter or annually also you can schedule. This is really funny. They just use the scheduling frequency drop downs as hourly, daily as well. But yeah, I mean, if you have requirements, you can go for it. Enable staging period means when you launch the access reviews, you want to review how the data is looking like, who are the reviewers, how many access reviews they need to review, like how many users access reviews they need to review. That will give you the more insights and you can check whether it is correctly configured or not. In case if the data is not looking good, then you can cancel the certification as well. So staging is very good. You need to enable staging every time when you launch the access reviews. Otherwise, you will be in big escalations. Next is email notifications. Like, I mean, here run now means you do not need to select the dates or time. You can just click run now. Immediately it will run. Next, initial notification. Do you want to send email notifications? This is very big stuff in SailPoint. Certifications, Identity IQ. We need to send initial notification that hey guys, we launched the access reviews or certification. We are running for this reason, so you need to review the access of all all the access reviews assigned to you. You can log in or you can go to SailPoint and check your certifications to be reviewed. It will be assigned to you, and steps also we will give, or you can simply access by clicking this URL. So instructions, everything we will give it to them, a full detailed email notification. And then active phase, like active duration, like 1 month or 2 months. Active period enter rule means once it is entered to active stage, like from staging to active, what do you want to do? You can write a rule, but it's optional. I never used it. Notifications and reminders, this is very good stuff in Identity IQ. You can send reminders. What is mean by reminder? See, 60 days we are running the access reviews, correct? So do you think the reviewers, managers, or application teams will review the access? Definitely not. Not everyone. So you need to send them reminders that hey, you still didn't complete the access review. Please do it. Like that, we need to send the reminders. Escalation means after sending some set of reminders, if they still didn't take any action, then we can go for escalation. So you can have the reminders as before expiration or after start. We go like after 7 days of or 6 days of starting, and you can have once every, let's say every week once you can schedule. Okay, reminder template, you can have this template or you can build your own template. And if you want to include additional email recipients in the mail, you can select as well. You can have a rule or you can select the additional recipients. Okay, let's say every email should include reviewers manager. We don't do that in reminders, we add that in escalations. Then add. So a reminder is sent for every 7 days from these dates. Next, you can add one more escalation. Let's say after 2 weeks, after 14 days of start, I wanna send once every 3 days. Add. Then add uh, after 28 days, I wanna send every 2 days. Okay, so like this you can have, and finally uh, escalation after sending, let's say some dates you can go for 45 days of or let's say 14 days before expiration, means last 2 weeks. Then you can send every 2 days, and this is an escalation. You can add additional email recipients as well. You can select the rule. Okay, you can add escalation as well. So instead of reminder, you can have an escalation. Escalate after sending how many reminders, or 8 days before expiration, let's say 2 weeks before expiration. I want to send an escalation. Escalation rule you need to build, and template and additional email as well. So escalation two ways you can build. You can change the certifier or reviewer. Um, Currently, let's say your manager is reviewing your access. If manager didn't take action after sending all the reminders, so 2 weeks before, we will change the reviewer to manager's manager. That's one way. Second way is instead of changing the certifier or reviewer, what we do is we will send the reminder only, not an escalation. But there we will add additional recipient as manager's manager, which is senior manager. So nothing but, if I send you an email saying that, hey, you did a great work, and if I add your manager in the CC, copy manager in the mail, it's an appreciation mail. In case if you are not doing work properly, and if I send a question like, hey, this work is pending from long back, or I haven't heard from you, what is the update, what is the progress? So I'm asking you a question or asking update about the work. If I add manager in that, it acts as an escalation. Okay, escalation doesn't mean that you need to change the reviewer. You can add additional recipients as well. What is the highly recommended one? Adding additional recipients is the good one, because I would say, like from my personal opinion, manager itself doesn't know how to are checking this access what user has and take a decision. How come a manager will know that? Compared to manager, senior manager will be more busy. If your manager itself is not taking the action, do you think senior manager will have time to review the access? I don't think so. Okay, so that is why what I feel is just adding them in the additional recipients, I mean adding them to the reminder template would be enough. Then he'll say like, hey, why didn't you take an action? Take it, man. We need it, really important for our organization compliance. So senior manager will tell the manager, so manager will take the action. I have heard this when I was attending SailPoint Developer Days from US. So one expert said that if the reviewer do not take the action after sending this X amount of reminders, then they will escalate it. They will change the reviewer to someone else, like a senior manager, and they will disable the access of the manager who didn't take action on time as a punishment. Okay, and after that, sometime later, they will enable it, something like that. It's a really funny for me and very hard or rude behavior, but I think it is required. Why? Come on, guys, we all are professionals. We are sending emails. SailPoint is sending emails. How many emails? Initial notification for 2 weeks. Let's say this is 2 months, 60 days we are running. First email notification went. After that, every week, once or twice we will send. So 3 to 5 emails. After that, every 2 or 3 days we are sending. After sending almost 10 emails, if the manager is not taking the decision, I really don't know what to say or how to react. Okay, if I talk with SailPoint perspective or IAM team perspective, when we send these kind of emails, they will not take action. We need to follow up with them. We need to pull the reports. We need to see how many reviewers completed, how many reviewers are still not completed. A lot of work we need to do. But still, they will not take the decisions. Whereas if we by mistake send an email, they will escalate that, hey, why did I get this email? Seriously, right? That's why it is okay to do such things. But anyway, it's not about your personal or my personal agenda, right? We all are working for our organization compliance, protecting our organization data. So we have to follow the protocols or standards set by our organization, especially GRCT. Okay, it's not like you or me taking these decisions. GRC team will tell you. All right, this is how we will launch the access reviews in Identity IQ. Apart from that, if you go ahead and look into end stage, um, if you want to notify the revocations, you can send uh, automatic closing. Challenging period means what? So in case if there are any revocations, end users will come to know that, hey, you lost this access. If you think you don't need it, ignore it. If you think you need this access, challenge this decision. Talk to your reviewer, maybe manager, and tell him or her that why do you need this access. Okay, we will give the time for that, but mostly I never use this. Enable automatic closing. So here, because we don't use this much, because anyway, managers, they are not going to take the decision just like that. They need to talk to their reportees. Okay, enable automatic closing. So in case if they don't take any decision, access reviews will be still open. We can automatically close them. If you want, you can enable it. Otherwise, you can leave it. Depends. So we can enable automatic closing, and closing rule, when it is closing, what do you want to do? Do you want to send any email or something? You can set up this. And after certification expiration, like once the certification is expired, do you want to wait for 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days? 7 is the maximum, I would say. And action taken on undecided items. So you want to revoke, approve, allow exception. Allow exception means it will allow for some time. Access will be granted with users. You can go for whichever you want. And automatic closing signer is admin. You can add some comments as closing the access review automatically since there was no action taken, something like that. Okay, so this is the stuff, and you can schedule the certification. This is very big and it takes a lot of time to, I mean, whatever the things I have explained, you need to gather the requirements from your either application team or SecOps team will be there, IT security team or GRC team. Someone will be there responsible for this. They will tell you how many days this certification has to be run, the campaign needs to be run, and who should be the reviewers, what all identities you need to certify, what all access you need to certify. All these things they will explain, but don't think that every time they know what needs to be done. See, in my first project I learned a lot. I've gone through, I read a lot, I've practiced a lot, and I have did a lot of things. In second project, I have worked in where they don't know much about access reviews. They didn't know much. They didn't know requirements even. So I explained them. Okay, this is the standard and this is the questionnaire. These all questionnaires I have listed, which I have explained. And then I have told that this is the recommendation. What do you think? Then they said like, okay, Krishna, we like your approach. You can go ahead with this. This is what we would like to launch certification for. It's really nice. I mean, you guys think like, how to grow in the organization or in your career as well, how people will love you when you are so nice and so flexible to work with. Be a doll. Okay. So I'm not just doing SailPoint work. I am making my application team's work also very easy because I know their stuff as well, right? I am asking them the questions. I'm giving the requirements. It's not like they need to work on that. If because they might not know, right? So I'm giving the requirements. They might not know the answers or standards or practices. I'm giving them recommendations as well. And I'm explaining them why do I think 60 days is correct? Why do I need to enable automatic closing? Why I'm going with this decisions? Why I'm going with 7 days? Everything I will give a justification, which I explained already. Okay, so I don't wanna uh, include active inactive identities. Why should I, include inactive identities? We can launch a different certification for inactive identities to see if there is any access left on inactive identities. So I'll give a justification for every recommendation I'm taking here. So then they will see, okay, makes sense. If, in case if they have different requirements, they'll say, Krishna, here we would like to have this. Can you accommodate that? I'll say like, sure, why not? Right? So that is how people will love you. That is how you grow in your career as well. Okay. So this is the stuff about access reviews in Identity IQ. Let's see same stuff in Identity now, how it looks like. All right, this is how Ident now looks like. And if you want to access reviews, go to certifications and then campaigns. So you have two type of certifications here, create campaign, a manager campaign or source owner campaign. Okay. Along with that, you can go to search page as well. If you look at source owner campaign, here it will ask you what is the name of the campaign, description, and the deadline, like what is the end date, and campaign filters. There is no rules. There are no rules in SailPoint. I didn't know for certifications. So we use the campaign filters. Filters contains conditions. Just like how you write the rule to filter the data, what you want to certify, you can have the filters. Undecided items, what do you want to do? Do you want comments like no comments required for all decisions or only for revocations? And then email notifications, enable or disable. Nothing else. You cannot have customized reminders and escalations. Which source you want to enable the campaign, you can need to select the source. That's it. Then preview the campaign and run it. Very simple. Not a lot of options compared to Identity IQ. Second way is go to search, and here you see certification campaigns. Click new campaign. I really not sure why SailPoint is giving two interfaces for certification campaigns or access reviews. I really wish that consolidated page, or I mean one in one place, I would like to have all these certifications. Okay, so I know the answer. So they kept here in search because these certifications will run through search queries. That one is not a search query. That's why I think, but still it's good to have in single place. Why to have in two places, right? So identities, if you want to review and revoke access for a specific identities. Okay, so let's say if I go to identities, all items written by a query or specific identities I select. Then access items, you can go for set of accesses and certify whoever are there in those identities. Role composition, as the name indicates, you want to certify the role what it has. Uncorrelated accounts, so you can certify all the uncorrelated accounts as well. It's a very nice feature. And machine accounts, it's a new feature launched in 2025 February. You can certify machine accounts as well. So what is the good practice we will have is for every application we onboard, we will have two campaigns, one for all the users and their access. Second one, uncorrelated accounts also we will certify. So two access reviews we will launch, one for all the correlated accounts, second one for uncorrelated accounts. If I go to identities, all identities written by a query are specific identities. I'll go specific identities. If I just say star, I'll get all the users. No, you can select, or you can build a search query. You need to learn the search query knowledge. Click add to campaign, certify selected identities. Do you want to certify all the access what user has, or do you want to refine the access items? For now, just select refine access items. It will display all the access what user has. You can select whatever you want. And then click continue. Give the campaign name, campaign description, enable notifications. Who is the reviewer? So there in the previous one, manager or source owner by default. Here you can select manager or individual or governance group. Undecided items, comments, campaign. Save it just or generate now, immediately or schedule it. Due date. What is the due date? Like 1 month or 2 months or something. By default, they have given 1 to 30. Why not they give the date here? Select the date instead of giving like 1 week, 2 weeks, and 30 days. What if I want 60 days? What if I want 90 days? So if you want, you need to select due date at campaign start. When you click that, when you are starting the campaign, there you need to select the end date. That is a calendar. You can choose how many days you want. It's really funny for me. It's my opinion. Why instead, if I'm developing the product, I would say like select the due date at campaign start because I do not know what is the end date now. I will decide when I'm launching the campaign. I need to get the dates, but at the moment I'm just scheduling it. When I launch it, scheduling, it will go to preview stage. It will not like staging period automatically. Staging there in Identity IQ, we call it as preview. In order to activate the campaign, at the time you can select the dates and dates as well, no issues. Or else I'll say like select the due date at campaign start. Second option I would give like select the date now. And I'll give the drop down or date, calendar a widget. You can select how many days you want to. Or instead of selecting the dates, you give just a number 30, 60, 90, something like that. Your wish. I don't like these options. But anyway, so this is what how the campaigns or certification campaigns looks like in I didn't know. Very simple, almost all the features you have, but not customizations. One thing I am missing here is in Identity IQ, there is a possible, it's not there is a, it is available to, what is that? There is a reassignment. Delegation is there. For example, um, access reviews are generated, your manager says like, hey, team lead, you know very well our team members than me, so you do one thing, you review the access assigned to all our team members. After that, I will look into your decisions, I will review those decisions. So it is assigned to, actually manager is the certifier, but it is assigned first to team lead, and then the decisions are sent back to manager. Manager can review the decisions of the team lead. Second one is delegation, so it will not come back. Let's say that manager is not available, or for some access instead of manager, it has to be reviewed by someone else. Or you can have two levels of certifiers. First level is someone, and then delegate it to someone else. Like that, we can configure. But in I didn't know, we do not have that option. Second, the limitations are there. Like I can go for manager only or individual only, governance group only. Why can't I go for when I go for roles? Why can't I go for individual role owner as a certifier? So that kind of options are limited. Second limitation I would say is reminders or email notifications. Just enable it. You cannot customize when the email notifications will be sent or how many email notifications. By default, I believe it will send every week once. Okay. Even I haven't checked much. When I looked into that, it was I think 5 days, every 5 days or every week once. It will send the notification. After that, that's it. Or maximum notification, something like that is there. I need to cross check again because it might be updated. But you can check in the documentation what is the frequency out of the box it is sending. Which this is what I don't like. I would like to have a flexibility here. But when I compare to Identity IQ, it is a beast. Really, I love the certification feature in Identity IQ. That's why I say to all my fellow SailPoint or any other IGA product learners, IGA professionals, that learn Identity IQ still, some features, not everything, some features. If you learn that, you will learn a lot of core knowledge and it will be beneficial to you. Like if you learn the infinite, everything else is finite, so it is very, very easy. Identity IQ is the biggest in IGA. If you learn that itself, I don't know, or any other IGA product is no big deal at all. Very, very small product if when you compare with Identity IQ. There are some products in the market which they say that there are what can I say, not a legacy product, but there are they don't have this access review feature. Even though they say that they are not legacy product, they are a brand new product, they are really good product, but still they don't have access review feature. It's really funny for me to listen when they are implementing AI feature, but they don't have access reviews feature even. Okay, it should be there for every organization. For example, I worked in one product, it doesn't have access reviews, it doesn't have GRC even. So I recommended them to go with SailPoint products. They chose SailPoint, I didn't know because it is cloud product, but they couldn't go with that at the time because of some reasons. So they asked like, okay, at the moment we need access reviews. Can you develop it? So I spent almost 100 hours in developing that in and out. I did develop access reviews program, and I mean I developed that module and I have given it to them to use the access reviews. Because I worked in a lot of projects, it's no big deal for me to develop a product how I say how a IZA product looks like. It's not like I copy SailPoint or something, but yes, it influences. Identity IQ will influence a lot of people when they are developing. But yeah, it's not like I copy everything, but instead of what I do is I will have my own creativity as well, right? Which I like, which I don't like, which I can make it better. I'll have a question, even I can challenge. Who knows better about the product or how the product's supposed to be? Someone like you and me who are building the real-time projects and facing real-time project issues, challenges, everything, or someone who is developing the product without having much exposure to real-time challenges. I would say it's me and you. We know better than the product developers. We know the challenges and issues better than them. Okay, so we are the best to develop the products. I believe in that. So yeah, I develop the modules like that. And if the product doesn't have access reviews, I really don't know how you say that those are modern IGA tools without access reviews where security is at high risk. And it is the big deal, and it is the big topic to be discussed about, right? Otherwise, what we are doing here, right? So this is what about access reviews. So what do you need to do is you need to just create a questionnaire document with all these points, write down some basic questions, whatever I have explained, and then you can just use the template and give it to your application team to fill out, or you can talk to your GRC team and get it done and to launch the access reviews. Identity IQ is beast. It takes a lot of time to launch, a lot of development also, whereas in Ident now it's very simple. Okay, last thing maybe I can show you the campaign filters quickly. Go to certifications, campaign filters, create new. You can see exclusion or inclusion. Exclusion means you want to exclude. Inclusion means which you want to include. You can go further and you can go for criteria type. You can build the conditions. Let's say identity or account. Let's say account attribute. And you can have an attribute, let's say, which Active Directory. If you have account expired, something attribute like equals to true. Or you can have actually status attribute or user account control, like that, some attributes which, so you don't want to user account control. If you take for example if you use 514 in Active Directory, it means that AD account is disabled. I do not want to certify AD account, so I want to exclude all this. So I can use this filter. I can write it as AD disable accounts. So I will use this campaign filter when I launch the access reviews for source or manager. Okay, so like that you can build the campaign filters. All right, this is what access reviews looks like in Identity IQ and I don't know. This is what you need to know. And technically it is very big in Identity IQ. I don't know, it's not that big. Okay, so as a business analyst, your job is to gather the requirements and talk to the application team and get it done and give it to your professionals or technical people to work on that. In case if you are a technical professional, if you do not have a business analyst, You need to be a business analyst. You gather these requirements and talk to application team. Be kind. In case if they don't know, you explain them. You cross your boundaries and you give them the questionnaire. You give the recommendations as well. Explain the recommendations, why those are the best. Let them or help them to choose the decisions. Okay. After all, we all are working for the organization. All right. I hope you learned something about access reviews. See you in next session. Thank you.